Yeah, we were on a mission, got my crew at my side. Scouring the shells, we're down for the ride. Plastic warriors all lined up tight. From the comic shop counters to the late night site. It's the thrill of the hunt, gotta make it mine. I'm out here searching, yeah, taking my time. I'll flip every aisle, don't care what it takes. For that rare chase piece, I'm raising the stakes. Action figure alliance, yeah, we're bringing the noise. Rolling deep, rolling heavy with my action toys. Collectors unite, we're breaking the chains. Plastic in hand, we're playing no games. From legends to villains, yeah, I got them all. Stacked up high, every hero, every ball. Every line, every wave, from the past to the new. It's a bond, it's a crew, we're the real Toy Zoo. Tear it through the packaging, no hesitation. Each piece, a reminder of dedication. We'll call it a phase, this ain't just a trend. These figures got a history, they're my closest friends. Action figure alliance, we're staking a claim. Battling for grails, don't care about fame. From the base of the shelves, we're making a stand. This is our world, you don't understand. Paint them, pose them, fix them up right. Customs in the works, we go all night. From the rarest grills to the two-tail finds. Each one's got a story burned in our minds. Action figure alliance, yeah, we're bringing the noise. Rolling deep, rolling heavy with my action toys. Collectors unite, we're breaking the chains. Plastic in hand, we're playing no games. We're playing no games. From legends to villains, yeah, got them all. We're after legends and stories untold. Alliance forever till the end of the line. This is our mission, this is our pride. From legends to villains.
What's happening?
What's going on?
It is that time of the week. Hump
It
day.
is Hump Day.
Hump day.
AFA Hump Day.
Mike.
And,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Well, we're talking about a topic very close to me tonight. Straight up army builder.
Oh yeah.
You can get a shirt like this from That Figures Clothing. Jay's in the chat. He knows all about that. But yeah, excited to talk about this one tonight.
Yeah, it should be a cool one. I don't go as deep in army building. This has only recently been something that I've started to touch on here and there, and I don't have a huge battlefield set up like you do. So I'm excited to talk about it, and maybe a little surprise for some people here and there throughout the show.
Yeah,
But we've also got like some fantastic photos that we're going to show off.
Mm-hmm.
Got some Take My Money. I've got a couple little new hotness here. And speaking of that, as a little surprise, I'm going to be opening live on the show some Steel Brigade boxes to see if I get a gold one.
Oh man, that's cool.
So
I missed them. I was trying to get them.
I know you did,
missed them, but I'll get them eventually. I'm not worried about it.
Dude, they went quick, man.
Yeah.
They went real quick.
Bobby's got more coming in April. They're going to be at IshCon. I'm not concerned. I got a whole bunch of Action Force over here. I'll get it eventually. I'll get the one.
I just want my breaker. Like,
yes.
I'm still pissed that I didn't get breaker.
Yeah.
Hasbro, come on. What the hell?
Yeah. Especially since it has that piece of the mass device. Like,
yep, we talked about that last week. That's terrible, man.
We'll have to engage the NC Underground network when they hit stores and just be like, hook us up. So,
yeah,
we can do that. Winford says it sold out in 3 minutes. He grabbed 2. So you're lucky, man. It was, we definitely missed it.
Yep. Goofed out on that one. I did get the divers, which I'm kind of like, I wouldn't have gotten them if it didn't have the mass device part in it.
I got them. I thought they were cool. They're, I have a whole bunch of Cobra divers, so they need somebody to fight. So
yeah, what was the name of that jet ski craft that I printed you? The manta ray?
No,
no.
It's
Well, now I've got a reason to make my own, I guess.
Right.
So that's cool. So I'll have a couple of
It's this,
divers.
and I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it turned out really well.
And I just broke the spear off again, which I'll have to super glue back on.
Yeah, that is not a strong part on that thing.
No, it's not.
Devilfish.
Devilfish, that's right. Yep.
Good job, Jay.
No, that's
Good
not a
work.
devilfish. Devilfish is orange.
Oh, it's.
Oh
yeah.
I have one of those in 112.
You do have one of those, and
yeah.
as soon as you said it's orange, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Yeah. So
I have a devilfish.
Oh well, that's all right. But yeah, I guess I'll have to print myself one of those. But
bad that I don't remember the name of it, but I just can't think of it right now. It'll come to me.
Well, cool, man. You know what? We've been just, yakking already quite a bit, and I think we should probably just do this.
In a pleasant world where legends collide, tiny heroes standing side by side, guardians of playtime in disguise, action figure alliance on the rise. Join the alliance, come take a stand with the many armies ruling the land. Hail to the heroes molded with might, action figure alliance unite tonight.
I was thinking, I almost did a little sing along with it because we're still in the scene, so they would totally hear us. But then I didn't want to lose all our viewers.
I hear you.
But I caught myself singing that, or whistling, or mumbling it.
We were at the swap, and I was like humming the tune. Like, it's catchy. It's catchy.
Yeah. Dave Lane says hydrosled.
Hydrosled. That is it.
Okay. Good work, Dave.
Yep.
Good work.
Yep, that is the hydrosled.
It took a bit. We all put our heads together and shook that thing loose.
Because I bought the 3D file and I sent it down. I was like, "Hey, print this for me."
Yeah.
And it came out really great.
Yep.
That's one of those small vehicles I think that they really need to put in the line. I could probably start rattling off and talk about vehicles for hours, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about army building.
Well, but vehicles can be part of army building, right?
It is, and we'll see that the battlefield behind me. I took a really long time and set up the battlefield. The whole thing is set up with my Cobra blue troopers and associated blue army.
Because you've got not just you say Cobra, you don't say Cobra troopers. Mm-hmm. You said Cobra blue troopers. So that's to say that you've got a red army.
I do.
And what else?
I have the Python Patrol, which is not very big. It's probably 3 squads. I have probably just a large squad of Vipers. There's the Crimson Guards, probably 2 squads, and I take a squad as 12. For me. I have the Blood Serpent Death Squad, which is all customs.
Yeah,
which is fun. That can do a whole thing on that one. I have the black and red figures that go with the Hiss tank. That's a pretty decently sized squad. And then, kind of got a squad for Iron Grenadiers. I got a purple squad. It's all mostly customs outside of the Techno Vipers. It's a purple gang, yeah. The Dreadnoks up top. Then I have some just random other customs. I love making customs, and there's a ton in my collection. I got a 1/12 scale water moccasin that's 3D printed. That thing's awesome. Which was one of my favorite vehicles, which that vehicle in vintage restarted my vintage collection.
Yeah, it did. That's right.
So,
it was sort of that, but then it was also the big helicopter you picked up.
Yeah, the Tomahawk. I got the Tomahawk literally an hour after I got the water moccasin, and I knew I was in trouble.
Yep. Oh, everybody knew you were in trouble. So, well, cool, man. Let's just dive right into that, dude. So I know you got a lot to talk about and a lot to show off, but we got a jam-packed episode here. So let's dig in. Where you want to start?
Hit me with that share screen.
Ooh, uh-oh. All right.
on top of it.
That is not army building.
No, it's not, but it's an announcement that we have to get to.
All right.
So, NC Underground Toy Swap, we are announcing this week. We announced it technically today, June 7th, 2025, at Hidden Temple Toys, actually at the Selma Civic Center, presented by Hidden Temple Toys and the town of Selma, who is involved with this event. We're having a toy show, and it will be indoors. And this is the Selma Civic Center Hall, and we've had one event there. It was a decent turnout. I have a feeling this one will be huge.
Yeah.
And there's cool things to be announced about this event coming forward, but nothing to be said at this time. But just letting everybody know, if you're in or around North Carolina, you're going to want to make a save some time and make a trip
There's
to
Ed.
Selma, North Carolina.
Ed is in that
there's
picture.
Ed's right here in this picture, yeah. And so is the top of your head and your wife's head.
Where?
Right, the top of your hat is right here, and the Casey's forehead is right there.
Oh, so it's cut off a little bit in this image.
Yeah, cut up. Oh, you should probably cut
funny.
Off a little bit. But.
Yeah,
Then
no,
there's
that,
old Jimmy HVX Customs and
Yep.
Pete's Prints.
Yep.
Some
that's a
folks
really
in this.
nice facility, climate controlled.
Yes.
Do you think we'll have people set up outside too?
It's probably going to be so big that people will probably be set up outside.
And there's room for it, and that's kind of why I mentioned it.
Right. There's a ton of space here.
Yeah.
And we'll fill it up, and there'll probably be people outside. So we're still working on that. We just kind of announced it, but really excited. Hidden Temple's a great store. I love going there. I think Alan does too.
Yep.
It's probably one of the hottest stores in the area now. And we love hanging out with those guys and going to see what they have in there.
So stay tuned to this, because maybe some special announcement coming.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's start talking army builder. What is a good army builder?
Yep.
And I know Alan wanted to talk about that. So for me, my army building experience started off with stormtroopers. Before I was even messing with them, I was in the Black Series, and I started collecting stormtroopers and just adding stormtroopers. Because there's been several different versions of the stormtrooper, and they've upgraded them. This was the first one, and probably the most predominant one that I purchased. This one's good. It comes with 2 weapons. It was a standard $20 figure. Not too hard to come by. Started army building these, started making my way towards a squad. Once I got a squad turned into 2 squads, and 2 squads turned into 4 squads, and we'll see here in a minute. This is from 2020. And so David Prowse passed away, and this was kind of my tribute to David Prowse. I laid out all the figures on the dining room table, every Imperial figure that I owned at the time. And that's it.
You've certainly upgraded to the battlefield is much cooler than the kitchen table.
Much cooler than the kitchen table at the old house. So it's this was a cool setup. It was cool to pull all that stuff out and do this. And but yeah, that's not even the end of it. That was kind of the beginning of it. That was still I could say I probably could fill that table up twice over, but most of them are stored away now with G.I. Joe's taking over.
Yeah.
And this was kind of one of the photos that came out of that. Was
that's cool.
Some photos I took back in 2020.
Yeah.
But then coming up to the next army builder, which is probably my overall favorite army builder, is this Cobra Infantry Trooper.
So why is it your favorite army builder?
I mean, it's a Cobra Trooper. I love it. It's so cool. I mean, it has 2 guns, has 2 pistols, the front and the back. It has the knife sheath. Although I've cut that knife sheath off, I can't tell you how many figures because it's in the way. Um, the helmet, the head sculpt is fire.
Yeah.
The the just the whole uniform, the way it looks. I've cut the I've cut this web gear off of this figure. I can't tell you how many times. I've customized this figure into a whole squad of like special forces, but it's not easy to get. I was buying every Cobra Trooper I saw at every NC Underground event that I went to.
So, I find it interesting that you picked there, that you said that this one is your favorite, because I personally, uh, to me, what makes a good trooper and, or an army builder, should I say, is like having some options. And this is
Mhm.
kind of just a straightforward single figure, single look. I would think like having, different head sculpts with different like nationalities or races
Yeah,
would be super cool. And they're starting to do that these days. And
right,
Bobby Valla is actually doing some of those in Action Force now.
right,
And I also like the idea of being able to have like different loadouts,
right,
um, where you don't have to cut a thing off
right,
versus just change a loadout. You can buy a whole bunch of one figure and end up with a couple of different looking squads.
right. And that's where Gridiron comes into play for me.
Hmm.
Um, Gridiron was a big effect into I was buying gridiron kits, and I was making specialty figures for the special forces squad. But to me, this is the figure I have the most of. This is the figure that I like the most. And there's different variations that have come out. There's a Cobra, the Cobra Island version. There's the new bluer version, the retro or whatever. I have
Yeah.
some of those,
Yeah.
and but really, this is my favorite, and you'll kind of see why later on.
So Jay's
Um,
asking if you prefer infantry or trooper.
um, this one. This one is the Cobra Infantry. This one I prefer. I like the other one, and I have several of the other ones. I probably have a whole squad of the other ones, but I implement them as like there's the officer, there's the other Cobra Trooper with the red band. That's like the second in command.
Yeah.
Each squad has one Valkyrie because she's always playing cleanup. That's what Valkyries do. They go through the battlefield and clean up the dead. Um, and that's canon in the comics. Um, and then I have my squad of troopers, usually 9, and that fills out a squad of 12.
So you've got kind of like a sergeant, a specialist, and then the
Right,
regular infantry dudes.
right.
Cool.
So,
All right.
and we'll kind of talk about that here in another slide
Okay.
in a little bit. So that we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then there's the Viper. This is the retro Viper that hasn't come out yet, and I did notice he doesn't. It doesn't look like he has the scarf,
And I think that
but
gives the figure a lot of personality.
it does, and I like it. It looks like the hip joints may be a little bit better. The arm guards are different color. The hands are a different color. So I'm definitely gonna add some of these to the crew.
Yeah.
There's also the 3-pack that had the officers and stuff in it. So the Viper Army, which I don't have on the table today, just because there wasn't enough room. I could have probably took a vehicle off and put them on there, but there's a couple pictures of the whole army laid out, just figures. But this is the retro. This is the regular. Also a hard figure to come by. They probably got up to $35. I mean, I've bought them as low as 15 bucks at swaps just because people are trying to get rid of them or traded for them. So there was a time where when I had the room for it, I was actively picking up every Viper I saw, every Trooper I saw. But I also collect Valiverse. I also collect other things, Mezco. Um, so I had to draw a line in the sand with army building when space became a problem. Uh, because space can be a problem.
Yes, it can. It can.
So we're kind of going to go from there. And I reached out to the community. I asked for some people to send me pictures of their army builds, of their setups.
That's
And
clean.
yeah, it is. And
So before you go on with this, I want to call out Troy's comment here. he has one GI Joe classified figure, and he's got like the best of them. Basically, he
Yeah,
got the what was it? Is it 000 or 00 Snake Eyes?
yeah. I
Oh,
don't
that
even
thing
have
is
that
so
one.
baller. Um,
Yeah,
I hope you like it, Troy. It was definitely, my suggestion, but I think Trey's probably jealous because I don't think you have that one, do you?
I don't have that one. I've never pulled a trigger on it. I have several Snake Eyes. I didn't technically feel like I needed that one. Maybe I'll pick it up one day, but
Yeah,
I'm actually okay with not having it. So,
he's pretty cool. He comes with some neat
yeah.
stuff. But
Um,
anyway, sorry.
we'll get back to this. This is Michael L, and I just did put people's last name from GI Joe Classified
Yeah,
Elite Facebook group. He's got some cool setup here. I
that's
like what
a
he's.
different way of kind of showing off your multiples. Like
Mhm.
it's actually really nice looking.
Yeah, it's clean. You're
Yeah.
not grouping too many things together. I like how he has this set up here, and it looks like there's some other pieces. We'll get to that here in a second. This is
Oh,
clean.
okay.
I,
Okay.
I really like this, and
Yeah.
the Sector 7 Extreme set.
Yep.
I have that. It's over there with the Joes. I like how he's got a background in
Hmm.
the cubes. This looks really clean. I
Without the
like.
background, I don't think this looks anywhere near as good.
Right,
Um,
exactly, and
yeah.
I completely agree. For his tanks, that's
Yep.
that's a decent setup. Two dragonflies. I mean, he's dedicated to his Cobra army, and it's very nice. So could probably take some tips from him with how to set up, the situation. I really like this look here.
Yep. Yep. Did any idea any idea where the backgrounds came from?
I do not know.
Okay.
We can ask him, and I asked him to come in tonight. I'm not sure if he's here. I'm not really looking at the chat because I'm looking at the couple people showed up. Cobranomics is here,
Yeah.
so we're about to get to some of that Cobranomics stuff. Um,
By the way,
so
dude, I think your video is actually frozen. I can
okay,
see your screen share, so I think that's the more important thing. But just calling it out there, I think when we'll change scene or something. Oh,
what about
you're
now?
you're back, but you're still frozen.
Okay. Uh, Hold on just a second.
So it might be coming on to upgrade time for you,
Yeah,
oldie Trey there.
yeah. We've talked about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll figure something out.
uh,
I wouldn't worry
but
about it, man. When we change scenes, I'm sure it'll come back.
okay. So somebody posted this on one of my comments. You guys are stupid. See, there's gonna be looking for army guys. Thought it was funny. So this is Cobranomics. He's in the chat. This is Joshua B. Reached out. He sent me some pictures, and I tried to kind of put it together. He sent me broken up pictures, but he's got a nice setup. You can see the flag here.
Yeah,
We're kind of missing a little bit, but you kind of get the picture. This is one big shelf
yeah,
with a ton of stuff, and this is a very very deep uh, Viper count, and I think it looks great. This Crimson Guard, and I mean that's he's got a lot of figures, and you can tell he's dedicated to his Cobra army.
oh yeah,
So
and as all of us should be.
yeah, exactly.
So
Um,
what that reminded me of, and what I kind of envision when I think army building is the scene in at this point I even forget what the movie was called, the first of the sequel trilogy Star Wars, where
mhm,
they're on Star Killer Base, and
right.
they've got everything kind of laid out in front of Hux as he's talking and
Mhm.
whatever.
And you
um,
see the whole like squads, and
yeah,
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 you can't
because
see me waving my arms and doing stuff in the thing. But I'm still doing
no,
it.
we can't. But yeah, like that's what I think of. Like that was really nice. Like the way he had his ordered columns. Everybody
Hmm.
was standing, perfectly aligned and stuff, and that looks
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
And it's so this is his other setup here, and this is a giant table, which if you go to his YouTube page, which is Cobranomics, and this is the picture that goes along with it, Dead Link 7041. He's only got a couple videos, but you can see this bottom Cobra Army build, Road to 1K. I'm sure he's going to upgrade that soon. He's got a very large table laid out. It looks very impressive. And then he sent me his counts. This is his current counts, 106 classified blue shirts. I will tell you this. If you think you have a huge army, there's somebody else that has you beat.
Damn.
And I thought I had a huge army. He's got me beat. The Savage Land has me beat. Woody 222 has me beat. They are dedicated army builders, very dedicated, and shout out to all of y'all. Very dedicated.
Dedicated.
I'm talking about
has a problem.
Yeah. And we all got a plastic problem, man. Yeah.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that he's keeping track of how many he has of all of these.
And it kind of led me to like, man, I need to count mine. And then I started doing it. And I'm like, lose count. And I'm like, okay, we'll get to it eventually. So then we're going to kind of come into some of my display. It looks really messy because some of it's on the table. I rearrange this from time to time. That's the Blood Serpent Death Squad. Then you start into the Crimson Guard. I liked hanging these from the top here. This is a Mark II design. Then here's the Python Patrol and the Vipers. And then this is where the 75 Blue Troopers go.
Okay.
And
got a little hole there.
Yeah. So they're all on the table. You can't really see it, but there's a custom like troop carrier right here that I should have had on the table, but I don't. There's the water moccasin. And you come up top, and that's where the Dio and a bunch of other pieces that are on the table. But the dreadnoughts are starting to fill out pretty well. I'm happy with those.
Yeah.
But then you can't leave out Joe. We all love Cobra, but you can't leave out the Joes. So Joes are not as deeply army built. There's a pretty decent squad of specialty troopers and steel corps coming in here.
Yeah.
Not even as many as the Valaverse Steel Brigade, but
the thing was, Joes were all personalities.
Yeah, exactly.
They were the elite,
Right.
personalities versus Cobra just being the dipshits that joined up and were the everyman
and all knew how to use a parachute because nobody died. But
but apparently they had the best time. Like some of those old cartoons showed off. I remember wasn't there like some base in the Arctic where they like had swimming pools and basketball, like all sorts of good amenities.
It's I think it's Flint and somebody else are infiltrating that base and they're dressed up as Cobra Troopers. So I think it was Snake Eyes, but lots of vehicles, 3D printed stuff we need in the line. And I didn't really go too deep into detail of what that is, but then here's kind of my base setup with the armory over here. It's kind of messy, but this I got in a lot recently. But I got a Snake Eyes with his puffy soft goods jacket on there. Yeah. So, and then this thing's amazing, the Air Eagle.
You're welcome.
It is amazing.
Well, I think you have me and Bobby B to thank for that one.
Yes. Well, that's the cool thing. At Toylanta, we're going to get to meet Bobby B in person. So
yeah, that'll be cool.
I'm looking forward to that. So
we'll talk more about that before the episode's over.
And then the tricked out vamp. But this, if you don't have a Sector 7 with extreme sets, get one. They're really cool. And then spend a lot of time. Some of the stuff's on the table, but this guy's hanging from the ceiling. He's paratrooping. I got one that's got a expanded parachute that I haven't hung up yet because I haven't found the right piece for it. But there's some gridiron stuff, lots of gridiron stuff.
Yeah. So Brian says it was the Viper episode with the Cobra Spa, and
Yeah,
I just remembered that although they were doing like water sports and having fun and all that kind of stuff, they all had like their masks and helmets on.
yeah, they had the mask and helmets on, and their blue shirt and their
Yep.
shorts. Yeah,
Swimming with their mask and their helmets.
and then kind of my setup with the dragonfly. And
I think the
stuff.
dragonfly is in trouble there. I'd take the Robo Skull over the dragonfly every day.
Yeah, Robo Skull is pretty cool. But switching lanes to the Valaverse, we start talking about Valaverse. I've started to build some decent squads and stuff with Valaverse. The green squad is what I call it, the regular army. I love making customs, so they're just tons of them throughout this entire thing. That's a custom. That's a custom. That's a custom. I mean, there's a ton of them in here, but that's one of the things I enjoy is kit bashing, making a custom, making something look cool. This is my duster in a duster. So, and this is his girl.
Speaking of that duster, I think we'll be seeing Sean at Toylanta as well.
Awesome.
Sean from Struck Family Crafts.
Nice.
He's not going to have anything there, so this is kind of funny, and I realize I'm tangenting. But he said he's not going to be selling anything because of the fact that they're still working on their pre-orders. So Sean had a big setback from the hurricane that came through.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, they have hundreds. They did an unlimited pre-order on their last round of items that they put up for sale.
Mm-hmm.
And he had no limit on it. And he says he's like thoroughly regretting that at this point, which is kind of funny, but it's a good thing for him. I mean, they're
right.
pretty successful. So anyway, moving on.
Shout out to Valaverse. This arm snapped off this figure as soon as I took it out of the box, and they sent me another one. And that's over here somewhere.
Well, now he's a war wound.
Yeah, now he's wounded. He's spurting blood out. I just use that, and it works. So, it's kind of going through. There's the Desert Squad, with the vehicle and everything. I just, like I said, there's tons of extras in there, and here's a swarm, and starting to get that whole thing full. You got a Krieg in there. Is a kind of a commander.
Yeah, exactly. He would be a commander. And then you got a weird old McFarlane back there too.
It works though. It fits in.
It does.
And like this figure, you put this head on it, it fits in.
Yeah.
So there's some Ant-Man stuff in there.
So I will say that the interestingly enough, I don't think the red Krieg works very well with the dark reds that are on a lot of these figures. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, I know you have that set for sale. But then here's the Bone Collector Squad. A lot of customs in there, a lot of cool stuff. I create my own little things.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is kind of the top, a lot of the newer squad. This is the, more customs. But space is a thing.
It definitely is. Yeah, it seems like something that you would kind of like need to cycle through here and there. So I think I know where you're going next, but if you don't mind, I would like to share something.
Okay.
Also, it gives us a chance to like change scenes to hopefully get you back in.
All right. I'm going to disable my camera and mute because I got to start turning on lights, and then I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, cool.
Let's come on over here. All right. I put together a little, it's not exactly an army, maybe more like a division, something like that. So I don't like, I don't army build, not like some of you guys do, but I had this in my head for a while where I was really liking the elite Praetorians and those swarm dudes. And I was like, oh man, okay, these are really cool. I'm going to get a bunch of them. And then, all the red and black themes stuff just sort of started to come together. Um, so this is something that I threw together. I did that literally right before the show. And my office around me, what you guys can't see behind me, or at least to my left over here, is the huge mess that I made getting everything out and getting everything kind of ready for this. But I just thought it looked really cool. So you've got a bunch of different things in here. You've got on the left and right, the flanks are the Valaverse figures. Then you've got the big two-legged drone and the tank-treaded drone are Gridiron. And then behind that, you've got Storm Collectibles. That's a Mortal Kombat figure. And then you've got a custom that's Zesray combined with a bunch of custom soft goods and weapons and stuff. And then yeah, you've got the Skeletron, looking over everything all ominous like. What do you think, man?
I like it. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it, and that army is going to grow. That one is because there's some Praetorian stuff coming, some Crimson studio stuff there from Valaverse. So I'm excited.
Yeah, okay. I got a little bone to pick with him. Is that he's got like 4 different colors already for the figures that are supposedly the Crimson Shadow.
Mhm.
He's got the original Swarm figures, which were yellow.
Right.
And then he did the glow in the dark ones, which are that glow in the dark kind of pastel green.
Right.
And then he did the elite Praetorians, which are a whole different green.
Mm.
I'm hoping that he really kind of focuses in on the red and black.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he wouldn't. But if that new vehicle that he's working on for these guys comes out and it's not red and black, I'm going to be frustrated.
Right.
Because I want to add, it would be awesome to have, up in those 2 blank spots, have one of each, one on each side there. That would be really cool. But yeah, Winford, that's kind of exactly what I'm doing here is I've kind of got like 2 squads of 5, with the 3, ground dudes and the 2 air attack guys and, some kind of specialist stuff.
That's how it starts. And then you're like, I got to turn that squad into 12. And then you're like, I got to have 3 more squads. It's just, it's a sickness and you're down with the sickness.
Yeah.
And it just happens. And
so I took a few iterations of this shot. Mm-hmm. And at one point I had in the red and black range Viper on one side as like a squad leader. And on the other side, the red and black alley Viper. And I just felt like they weren't kind of fitting in.
Right.
And then I was going to swap them out for those red Kriegs. But the red on those Kriegs are just so bright. Like, I just felt like they stood out too much more and kind of detracted from everything else. So it's a little bit smaller than it could have been, but I really like it. I dig it. I'm digging on this. So
the Rhino Army Man looks cool.
What's that?
The Rhino. Is that a Rhino? Is what that is?
Yeah, the big dude.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's that Zesray big beast. I forget exactly what his name is. Right. What you don't see is the pilot of the the Robo Skull is from that Dragon movie. It's from the 2-pack that Bobby Valla put out.
Yeah, Legend of the Dragon.
Legend of the Dragon. Yeah. It's the gray and black one. That's
a cool figure.
Piloting that. It is, and it works real well with this too. So
the joints on those are like butter too. So they did a good job on those.
Yeah. All right, man. So you were wanting to show something else off, weren't you?
All right, let's hit that desk cam. I'm gonna take this camera out of place so you're not staring at my butt.
Okay.
Sure, everyone appreciates it. Welcome to the battle. This setup was fun.
Jesus.
So this column, and you can see my arm, hopefully. This column is the majority of my troops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 squads.
Okay.
4 squads of 12. The 4th squad is a specialty squad. It has 3 Viper Valkyries, and then all specialists of various different types. And then there's a whole nother squad of specialists kind of throughout the entire thing. So 3D printed stun with a custom driver, gridiron gear, uh, custom gunners. This is my small retro and custom blue and red little group here. I kind of take these and like, hey, these are the trainees. They're just learning. These guys don't even have masks yet, you know. I made the tent and I made the tower. Those were fun builds. I made the backdrop for IshCon 2, and that was on display briefly, but I had to go to my father-in-law's funeral, so um, picked up all kinds of stuff throughout. You know, these Jersey barriers are HVX Customs. Our friend Jimmy.
So you're getting a couple of comments.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's a holy shit. There's a nice. There's a good Lord.
Nice.
So there, yeah, you're winning some people over for sure.
Okay.
And what I can tell you guys is that, you know, this is a live shot. You know, obviously you've seen Trey moving around, but I don't feel like we're getting the same effect that you do in person with some of these.
Oh, it's beautiful in person.
Yeah,
all the lights
it's a hard thing to capture because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
But you put a ton of effort into, you know, you've got your little squad, you know, looking at Big Boa there, you know. You've got so many little kind of small scenes sprinkled throughout this, and it's an art.
and that's the point of world building. You know, I got 2 snipers in the tower.
Yeah.
Raptors on top. I don't know if you can see that. There's a anti-tank RPG guy up top too. You know, you got Major Blood down here drinking his coffee. The cool thing is,
scroll on by.
I made the Major Blood goon, and like literally a month later in the comics, they came out with Major Blood goons that look very similar. I was very happy, but it's just you're not only collecting and army building figures, but accessories to go with it too, to tell a story, to have everything laid out. Like over here, I got a picnic table, 2 guys playing cards, and a custom Cobra girl, like telling them what to do.
Yeah.
You know, there's a mortar guy. There's several heavy gunners. You know, communications guy relaying. You know, with an officer. You know, this is a gridiron custom trooper. There's a flame guy here. I don't know how far you can see. If you can see, yeah, you can see right here the base. There's 2 guys in there manning the guns. This is one of my favorite pieces with painting over that with white and putting a Cobra logo on it. It makes it a Cobra bike. Stuff like that. And this is just my blue guys. And then, you know, the container I got at IshCon last year, and I really forget the guy's name and who made it.
Crashbox Customs.
Crashbox Customs. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I hope he's at the next IshCon, and I hope he has something cool like this because he really did a good job with that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I've collaborated with some of the things on here, like the crates were made by my buddy Jimmy, HVX Customs, and I added the Cobra logos. You made I don't know if you can see the container, the Cobra container. It opens up and it has a setup in there.
The weapons crates.
The weapons crates, yeah.
Yep.
The tower I found randomly at a swap that somebody had 3D printed. I was like, yep, I gotta have that. I bought the Cobra banners, and I have another red banner. Just pieces you pick up here and there, and you're like, all right, I got to add this to this and this to this. And
yeah,
I can set this table up 10 times, and it can be completely different each time.
Yeah.
And I've set it up where it's nothing but troopers. And I got a couple pictures of that in a video that we'll show here in a minute.
All right.
So, yeah, music, little video. But this is super fun. And yeah, let's highlight this comment. I knew you were going to do that.
So yeah, IshCon's going to be a good time, and I'm super stoked about Savage Crucible and Valaverse. I mean, it's going to be awesome to have, some cool vendors out,
Yeah,
not just the Four Horsemen, not that I'm trying to detract from them, but, they were there last year, and getting
right.
other vendors is going to really, make it a step up in terms of
And,
convention.
and definitely going to pull a lot more people in. So go to ishcon.net, get your tickets, come hang out with us in North Carolina.
Yeah,
We'll be there all weekend. Figure Fight
absolutely.
Club and him and Brandon will be there. There'll be a bunch of folks there. It's going to be a great time. Just come hang out, talk toys, and we'll all enjoy it. But
Yeah.
go back to that sharing screen,
Okay.
and we'll see if this video plays. See if this video plays.
Do you need the second camera running? Because I'm sure that's taking a tax.
Hold on a second. We'll do this, and this, and this, and this, and this
He's doing stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
stuff.
Stuff. All right. Okay. There you go. That's coming through just fine. Are you with us, Trey?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I was trying to turn it down just a little bit so we can kind of talk over it, but
I don't hear anything.
you don't hear anything?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, okay. I was expecting there to be music and stuff, but so you don't hear the music.
No.
Oh man. Wah wah.
Womp womp.
I will probably be posting this on the YouTube channel.
Cool.
So we will definitely post this on the channel, and it's only like 2 minutes showing off.
The banners and the podium are awesome. Also,
Yes.
of course, the guys playing cards are pretty cool too.
That's the Duarte Studios sandbag set.
Yeah.
Duarte, hopefully he's at IshCon and has some cool stuff. He's killing it right now.
I love all the 3D printed vehicles.
Yeah, they're so cool. Can't wait to get some of the other stuff in real life. That cape is I can't remember who did that, but they did a great job on it, and I
Is
should
that
know.
Bestly, like Forge Knight?
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
Yeah. Cobranomics says he needs trees.
It needs what?
Trees.
Streets?
No,
Oh,
trees.
trees.
Yeah.
I have trees. I have 3 trees. But they didn't make it in. This is the previous setup with all the Cobra figures, just figures, and this was probably before Joe Fest.
Okay.
So
yeah, I remember this one. That's cool.
Yeah, that was a fun setup too. Every time you set up the table, it's always fun.
So Jay's calling us out for not having a Saturday video. Yeah. So Jay, I'm working on building a whole new PC because things got really difficult to do editing. And the more reviews that I made, the more I was wanting to do cool edits and neat things. So I'm probably not going to have one for this week either. I don't know if Trey's got anything queued up, but I'm
going to post that video that I just showed.
Okay.
So we'll run that, but I'm probably not going to wait till Saturday to post it. I may hang it out for about a day and then drop it on Friday or something. So
yeah. I mean, we're going to, having like our next episode, we're going to talk a bunch about Toylanta and have a bunch of stuff there. But I do have stuff that I've like written and have, or at least should I say, an outline for. I don't fully script things, but I do know what I'm going to say. And then I've got another review that I'm working on too, kind of currently up in here. But yeah, things are going to come together, and I really feel like once I get my PC. My new PC built, like you're going to notice a change.
Yeah.
I can't help myself. But recently it's just become like, I want to do more with the editing and I want to do more. And it's just like, man, the more edits you put on stuff, the more important it is that you see those edits, and the harder it is for my PC to go, yeah, sure. Here you go. And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it skips right over it.
This setup took a while. Like posing 64 figures in a walking position with a stand. If I didn't have stands, it wouldn't be possible.
Oh
But
yeah, the
the just
domino effect is real.
yeah, it really is. And but yeah, stands early on. I got stands for literally my entire army. I have hundreds of stands. Um, some people are like, "Oh, that's cheating. You shouldn't use stands." I like stands.
Oh,
I
it's
like
not cheap. That's
yeah,
dumb.
yeah.
That's dumb. Now, I will say that I think for a scene like you've got, where you've got an actual kind of ground,
Mhm.
you've got your mat. I think the little clear stands
Yeah,
are the way to go. Is that
yeah,
what you use,
yeah.
or
I use the clear stands, so they're
yeah,
and here's another custom, but yeah, they're clear
yeah,
stands,
yeah?
and
Those don't
this
detract from as much as like the big black stands do.
right, and that's the Marvel Legends with a 3D printed vest painted and the arms painted. That's that blue and white something Marvel guy. I can't remember.
Okay. Cobranomics is asking if that's Figure Lab.
Figure like
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's asking. Are you asking about the stands?
the stands are straight up from Amazon.
Okay.
And I could probably find a link and send it to you, Urbanomics, or post it in the AFA Facebook group, which
Oh
y'all
yeah,
should be a part of.
yeah. Everybody should come on out and join our Facebook group.
You follow us on
Um,
Instagram and like and subscribe to YouTube channel.
yeah, we are growing, and
Yeah,
it's fun. The YouTube group or YouTube group, the Facebook group is pretty small, but
yeah,
we post little things here and there. But I expect things to steadily grow.
yeah.
Right now Trey and I are just enjoying the hell out of doing this stuff. So we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Having
Um,
fun.
yeah, having a good time, and we definitely want to. Uh, we would like to see interaction from our audience too. So, like,
Yeah.
if you guys have, Trey went and asked the community and got some of those photos and stuff, which I think is super awesome. But
Mhm.
even if you don't army build, we would love to see your shelfies.
Yeah.
You know, uh, I mean, you can even send in new hotness or your toy photography too. Um, and if you post it in the Facebook group, we will absolutely pick that up. We might not get to those segments every episode, but it's definitely something that, well, I mean, we're going to do some of it today.
Yeah.
So yeah, just throwing that out there. It's a good
That's it.
spot for you guys to share stuff with us.
Exactly. And just send us what you have. We'll love to show it off and
Yeah.
interact with you. And shout out to Cobranomics for coming and hang out with us today. Uh, like showing off your stuff. And maybe we can have you on live next time we talk about army building.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And I've got more stuff. Like I could put together an army of lizard men from Savage Crucible.
Yeah.
What else do I have a bunch of? Well, I've got a fair chunk of Operation Monster Force, which is absolutely my favorite right now.
Yeah.
By the way, did you know how much those Delta Red figures are going for on eBay?
Really?
They're
A
like
lot?
$60 a pop.
What?
Yeah. I'm certain that they're going to keep making those. But
So, because it comes with the extra head sculpt.
yeah,
And I was taking that head sculpt and putting it on a Marvel Legends body, and it works. It's a Captain
yeah,
America figure, and so got a little army growing with that. And I think a lot of that's gonna this year, especially, probably double in size for Monster Force, and I'm excited for it.
yeah.
It,
I do want more of the Delta Red figures. I think they're fantastic. I think I've got two of each right now. But yeah, Winford's saying he's, now that the weather's getting better, he's going to send some stuff in. I suppose that means he's going to do some outdoor photos,
nice.
which is cool. But speaking of which, do you want to move on and do some fantastic photos?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool.
Don't have a whole lot else other than the army building thing. That was my focus, but yeah, let's.
Yeah,
let's see.
no, and that was awesome, dude. And I love that you went and got some, some pictures from the community too. So good on you. So, but yeah, I want some. Show some of these off. How do I do present? There we go. Present. All right. Does this look okay?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay. So This is super cool.
Yeah.
It made me laugh as well as made me go, damn, how's he pulling all this off? Um, this is What's Up Danger. And
Okay.
he's pretty awesome. He's very popular.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty big Instagram following, but I recently opened this figure and never would have thought to post him
Doing a kickflip.
doing a kickflip over a garbage can on a skateboard. But I thought that was really cool. So yeah, he's got this cool little, uh, name tag sticker thing. What's
Yeah,
Up
that's cool.
Danger? So go check him out. Look at me. Look at
Yeah,
this.
look at you with the using the QR code.
Come
Yeah,
on.
nice,
I figured out how to do it on a PC.
nice.
They hide it a little bit more than they do on your phone, but here you go. Scan that, find the
Yep.
guy. He's got tons of great photos,
Yeah.
like this and more. So anyway, moving on.
He-Man.
Come on.
Wanna
This
be
is
He-Man.
badass.
Yeah, that Castle Grayskull. I don't know if that's real or if that's
It
you
is.
know, it
It
is.
is.
Nice.
So you've got this is the mythic. These are all mythic legions here.
Hmm.
But this is the new barbarian, who you can kind of do different hair colors with to make him look like whether it's He-Man or Conan,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe even Thundar.
Thundar, yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But I just thought this was baller, and I love the skeleton coming out
Hmm.
of the Castle Grayskull, with the light behind him and stuff, and then you've
Hmm.
got the backdrop. So here's a little bit of a behind the scenes.
That's sick.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is.
that. Oh, that's so freaking cool.
So he made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he made I don't
Is
think
it
anybody
foam?
I think this dude made this himself.
Is this
Um,
foam?
what?
Is it foam or 3D printed? Probably
It's
foam.
foam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Here you have. Well, first I want to show off that I was thinking that the big here. Let me use my mouse. The
Yeah.
big space looking background. I figured that was a monitor, but it's not. It's an
Yeah.
actual print that he's got
Yeah.
hanging up.
I have a couple of those. I have a sky, like a blue sky with clouds. And then
Interesting.
I have a city, like a night cityscape that I haven't broken out in years, but
Well, I mean, he did a really good job of blending his actual, floor, for
yeah.
his dio into that. It looks really good. Anyway, so here you kind of have a little bit more behind the scenes. There's the castle, and here's a video.
Awesome.
So I love these things. I mean, for me, this is a lot of the fun seeing, the great shot is what gets your attention,
Hmm.
but then seeing this kind of stuff, I'm like, man, that is really cool,
The red
because
lighting coming out of the mouth really makes that
yeah,
pop. So
yeah, it makes it feel more alive. It makes it
mhm.
more obviously feel more three-dimensional, but this is badass.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so this is visual underscore approach underscore photo. And the dude's badass. I mean, if you couldn't tell. And there are some progress photos of him building Castle Grayskull. So go check him out. Tell him the Alliance sent you.
I already follow this guy, and I thought I did, but
Yeah.
just in case, I use the QR code. So
So this is shots by Gobu, I think.
yeah.
Who's another big, toy photographer. And this is, I love Dutch. I love Predator. I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. So
Mhm.
this is really lush. It has a lot of depth. You've got foreground, background, height. I just thought this was really cool. So yeah, shots by Gobu. He's got a behind the scenes video for this one too. That is absolutely worth going and checking out, because it doesn't look like you think it would.
Right.
This is definitely kind of that, put your components in the scene in the way that your camera is viewing to make it work versus make it look, like you're walking up on this scene. You know what I mean?
Hmm. All
Um,
right. I wasn't following shots by Gobu, but now I am.
all right. All right. Yep. So there he is. This guy does a ton of stuff too.
Mhm.
And I'm a big fan. So here's a simple one. But man, I thought this was cool. So you've got the Mezco Joes, and you've also got some I think that helmet
It's gridiron.
is gridiron. And maybe some other bits here and there. I'm not sure exactly on all of it. Uh, Mostly because I don't have roadblock.
Okay.
But is that roadblock's gun or is that a gridiron gun?
I think that's Roblox gun. I don't have him posed with the big gun. He's,
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if that's the right one or not.
That helmet works on him though,
The
man.
helmet looks good. That
Yeah.
helmet I have on clutch in the vamp, in the tricked out gridiron vamp.
Right.
So,
Right.
I do not have that Snake Eyes commando Snake Eyes, but
Right.
I may get it if I see it one day.
Yeah, if I see it for a good price, I might snag that
Yeah,
up. But
yeah.
but anyway, that is Planet Nostalgia 85.
Awesome.
He does some fairly, like, he doesn't do the big elaborate dios,
Mhm.
but he's really good at posing, and that is an art in and of itself
It
too.
is.
So calling that one out there, go check him out. And that is it for my fantastic photos.
Awesome.
I thought that was pretty cool. So let me pause this share here because I got more stuff I want to share.
Okay.
And I got to do this and I got to do all this stuff. Give me just a second. When you're switching around between things, it's not always super easy. All right. So this is some Take My Money. Being that we're here, I'm not going to do our crazy explosion thing, but just you can imagine it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some Take My Money here. And this is badass. And I am more and more really falling in love with what Harvinger Studios is doing.
Mhm.
So these are the guys behind Savage Crucible. And I mean, you've got your Frazetta Death Dealer. And I mean, he looks badass.
Yeah.
Makes me not feel so bad about missing the Mezco version.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this thing is just baller. Right now, it is on sale. If you pay in full for the pre-order, this is only $60.
That's not bad.
If you wait, this is going to go up to, I think, 70 or 80. But they have some options even to where you can put like $10 down or something like that, at which point the figure is $70 to do the down payment pre-order versus the all-in pre-order. But you've got customization options with this figure.
That's cool.
So you've got two different helmets. You've got different horns and face plates and stuff for the helmets that you can swap in and out.
Lots of weapons. That's a pretty good deal for $60.
It is. And I mean, they put out great figures anyway. Great paint, great articulation, fantastic customization. They definitely think about, people customizing and, changing their figures up a little bit. And here's just an example of that. You can do 8 different faces for that figure with the different swap out bits and stuff.
Okay. So the horn, I'm assuming the horns come off and
yes.
And then, okay.
And then you've got like the chainmail versus the hard mask covering. So you can swap those in and out too. And then obviously the helmet itself there's 2 different helmets. But yeah, so you can get, do 8 different looks for him. Kind of cool. Next up. So this is a 1/12 scale Batman versus Superman Batmobile. It's a model kit, mind you.
Right.
But it's a 1/12 scale model kit. And it's got, an opening cockpit, lots of cool detail. I don't think, like, I will admit, I've not built one of these before. I don't actually even know what this company is, but it is officially licensed. And I forget how much it is, but because it's not actually up for pre-order just yet. But I don't think these things are too hard to build.
Right.
And man, it's pretty cool. Toys Metaverse has this, or posted this on one of their socials, saying that it's going to come due for them soon. But I mean, this thing even has, you can see, let me move my cursor there.
Linkage and everything.
Yeah, it's got gearing, so you can turn the steering wheel and have the wheels turn, which is super cool.
Nice.
And it looks like it's got a ton of detail, you know? So anyway, yeah, I thought that was neat. Wanted to show that off.
If they do one for The Dark Knight Rises, let me know.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody's going to be trying to get that with the InArt Dark Knight Rises coming
Yep.
out.
Yep.
Which releases Friday.
The
hopefully
Tumblr.
through. Everybody's going to want the Tumblr.
Yeah.
And that's going to shoot up in price. It's already
Yeah.
like $139 on eBay.
Yeah.
I've looked at it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. So
That's are you talking about the McFarlane one?
the McFarlane one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
That's also a little bit big too.
yeah. I watched Nostalgia Unboxed review, and he had that, and he put it in. It was a little bit small for the.
I think he got that from Ish. So
okay, cool.
IshCon coming through.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, this is a blank buck, but you have some different options for looks with him. He comes with a few different heads, and he comes with feet as well as boots or shoes. We'll show that off. This is from Roman Key. So they did a female buck and a male buck that are super popular. I think they're actually going back to make more of them because they are stupid expensive on the secondary market.
Right.
They came out at like, I think $30. I don't recall exactly how much they're worth, but how much they cost originally, but they weren't very expensive. I think I got a couple of them, and but they are stupid expensive on the secondary market. So much so that there are actually some knockoffs of them. But they are officially going back to make more. But I'm telling you, those things pose awesomely, and this thing looks badass.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of different poses here to show things off. Yeah, you can see the shoes. I mean, this is definitely a different articulation scheme. What were you saying?
There'd definitely be some paint involved with this. So.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Generally, they do a couple of different skin tones.
Mm-hmm.
So you might not necessarily have to do the skin tones if you're just going to do like soft goods over the top of them, which is an option.
Right.
But you'll likely want to paint the heads at least, right? But man, I'm stoked. I love things that articulate really well. I love posing my figures, and butterfly joints and good ankle and toe articulation is definitely something that I look for when I'm posing figures.
You don't see finger splayed hand much with things like that one, so that's kind of cool to see.
This is the way they're doing the butterfly. I'm going to have to see how it looks, kind of in hand. It's definitely different with the pectorals kind of laying over the top versus being under like you normally see. But I mean, these photos make it look pretty nice.
Right.
So here you can see more of it going on. I'm sold, man. This thing looks badass.
Need to find the right soft goods for that larger buck, though.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find somebody that's doing stuff for this buck. That would be awesome.
Yep. I don't know how big this guy's going to be, but he looks pretty large.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see image character when I see this. Like,
yeah, you're right. You're right. This does look like a Wildcat, like something out of a 90s Image Comics.
Youngblood.
Yep. So anyway, this is from Roman Key, not up for pre-order yet, but he's going to be on 5K soon. 5K as well as probably Toys Metaverse, Gundam It, all of those other sites.
Nice.
So anyway, that's it for that. And I just kept finding stuff even up until like 5 p.m. I added another thing in here. But this is Coaster Toys doing this looks like another version of their Death figure. So this is from the Darksiders video game series. And this first figure was on my top 10 figures of 2024 list. And so I have high hopes for this new version that they're showing off here. So the one in the middle is the original. They're really kind of trying to highlight the super cool axe.
Right.
But then you have the top and the right pictures showing off a bit of the new figure.
The
I
crow
don't
looks
think this is the war figure that they showed off. I could be wrong. It might be. But regardless, I'm in.
nice.
So again, not up for pre-order. I'm kind of showing off some prototypes and stuff for this. But I'm trying to get you guys hyped for some stuff, I suppose.
Nice.
Now,
Yes.
Toylanta is going to have some exclusives.
Yep.
So this guy's going to be up at Toylanta. I'm like Trey and I, you guys obviously had better know that we are going in and going to get these first thing. Looks super cool. They're going to do something with a big golden button. I don't know what that's going to be about, but looking forward to checking it out. And then they're also going to do like a pre-order for a different version of Declan Van Helsing.
You get a code, you
Yep.
pre-order it. They also Four Horsemen has the Toylanta exclusive, which I
Yeah, they
bought
do.
with my ticket.
They do.
A lot of people are going to be going after that. Actually, we got to hold that figure in hand. Jordan had it at the NC Underground Toy Swap in Goldsboro, and that was a cool looking figure.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Excited to get that one in hand. So,
okay, so moving on a little bit more. So this is funny, and this is should give you the idea that this figure is probably going to be in demand. So this is Toys Metaverse posted this. I think maybe on Instagram, giving different time slots around the world when the NART 112th Batman is going to go up for pre-order.
Is that 8 a.m.?
That is 8 a.m. for us here Eastern time. And that's Friday morning. So we might be ordering in the car as we're driving to Toylanta.
Maybe we order that before we leave, and then
something like that.
Because I know we both want this figure, and it's going to be in high demand. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants it. Hopefully, there's enough that that this is a pre-order that they can schedule from there. So
yeah, and I think it's due pretty soon. It's not going to be one of these where it's like 6 months later. I think it's due in June.
It's $63, man. Take my money.
Yeah. So I will say that Toys Metaverse is not the only place you can get it. Bombusby also is going to have it. They are currently taking a deposit on it already. I don't know that they're supposed to, but they kind of do that sort of a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if like Gundamit and probably 5K has this as well. But in our coming from a 1/6 perspective, their figures are in demand. This is a very good price for a very coveted figure. And in case you guys didn't see it, this week on, or maybe late last week, I forget when it debuted, but they sent the figure out to a ton of influencers and ton of YouTubers, and like everybody got him and did reviews of them, and they all dropped on the same day, like a very concerted effort to get, the figure out there. So I think this has a good chance of selling out and being high in demand. Hopefully they make enough, like Trey was saying, but I did want to show this off and kind of say, hey, 8 a.m. For us here Eastern time, and show off the rest of these times for going and getting this figure.
I mean, that's early. I mean, 7 Central. I mean, there's just 6 a.m. Mountain time.
5 if you're on
5 in your percent. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
Set your alarm. Don't forget.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, this is from Haya Toys. I don't think this is available for pre-order just yet, but a Universal Soldier figure looking kind of cool with some nice looking soft goods. I'm not too sure about the head sculpt. It looks a little soft.
Right.
But Haya is pretty cool. They do some good stuff. I'm eager to see. They showed off some stuff at WonderCon or New York. I forget exactly what convention. That looked really good. Like there was the Apollo Creed that we saw that I showed off. I think that was all from Haya. This is another cool one for them to be putting out. Looking forward to it.
Just trying to see if that's an M60 or M240 Bravo. I couldn't really tell.
And then this is the last one that I just put up a little bit, I think, a little bit ago. Tell me you can't take this head off and put the Baroness head on her. that I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, that's Baroness.
Yeah.
So she looks pretty awesome. This is an expensive figure at $95. But this is pretty cool.
Is
She
it?
comes with a
Is
ton
she?
of stuff.
Is she squishy like
Yeah,
the
you
other?
got me, dude. I don't know,
All right.
but I think she's got movable eyes apparently.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty wild. But yeah, I just saw this and I thought this would be, a cool Baroness.
Yeah.
This is available for pre-order on 5K. So yeah, but that is the last of the Take My Money. So hopefully, there was some stuff that was new to you guys and think is cool. But I do have some other stuff I want to talk about, if that's okay.
Yeah. Bring it on.
All right, we're just going to keep going here. So this one will be a quick one, but
Yes.
Space Zombies from Mars from our friends over at the Nameless Toy Company.
Mm-hmm.
They have gone through and actually unlocked everything. So they are not fully funded yet. They're getting close. They're right at about 50%, but they went ahead and recently unlocked everything. So previously it was stretch goals and stuff like that, but they've gone and said, okay, you know what? We're going to do this. And so nothing is blacked out anymore. Well, I say that, and then this is there, but you do
But
see
you can
that,
see what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a hand
unlocked. You've got your different
Yeah.
kooky looking zombie head.
Yeah, because
there.
when they were on the show, there was a lot of stuff that was blacked out we couldn't see,
Yep.
and so really cool to see all that.
Yep.
That one head sculpt doesn't have a jaw, and the jaw like hinged, and
Yeah, that's wild.
cool.
So I wanted to show this off, that the only thing that they have not unlocked is the head pack.
Mhm.
But you can see that I am all systems go bundle.
Oh yeah, me too.
Don't forget, this is in Canadian, so this is $351,
Right.
which gets you everything. So I was definitely in on that. Good guys, they are industry professionals, been around, done that. So kind of going off on their own, doing this, I expect good things from them. I think this is one that you can safely back.
Right.
All right. Let's see. I've got something else. Let me just do. Where is it? Hold on a second.
Hello, computer.
Yeah, it's one of these things where I think power settings can sometimes turn off tabs. All right, there it is. Now this is a silly one, but I wanted to throw this out here. This is a wolf action figure that the Kickstarter is already funded, and I think this looks pretty cool. And this is a 3D printed action figure.
Okay.
So if you're a 3D printer like yours truly, this let's see, $29 gets the werewolf with all the extra hands, all the stuff, and all the stretch goals and everything like that, with tons of articulation.
So it gets you the files or the figure?
The files.
Okay.
For you to print yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it also comes with Heidi Van Helsing.
Ooh.
Which, I mean, we were just talking about Declan a minute ago.
Yeah.
I think this would be awesome to go with. And I mean, this looks thematically like, you put a modern gun in her hand, and yeah, I think that works.
Might be time to fire up that resin printer I have.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And they're actually, these guys have said that they are going to have a lot of advice on like what resins to use and your settings for different printers. They've got a big spreadsheet that they're keeping, kind of showing off all that stuff. So I thought that was cool. Wanted to throw that out there. It's relatively inexpensive, especially if you're printing, something worth checking out.
Nice.
And man, the hits just keep coming. So Riot Press is heading back to Kickstarter with American Ninja X. And man, we are pulling for these guys.
Yes.
We had Patrick on the stream.
Yep.
We've seen these figures in person and they look badass. Ace from Ramen Toy is the manufacturer.
Yeah.
We've had him on the stream, and we own products that he has made. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can go wrong from this one.
If these are anything like Aces Aviation, I'm all in. I'm ready.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly.
this did not fund very well the first time through. You can see it only got 20,000 out of a $95,000 goal. So it kind of remains to be seen what Patrick's going to do to try to get this one through, pushed across the finish line. There is no shame in not having your Kickstarter complete. I
Right.
mean, Valaverse, for example, his first Kickstarter tanked.
Yeah.
You come back from these things and, continue to push and continue to make your Kickstarters better and have it be more successful. So this is the first Kickstarter. The second one has not launched yet, but it is coming soon.
I think he's made some decent changes. Probably is also a story and a comic behind it. I'm
Yep.
excited for this one. I think it would fit with pretty much any modern military.
Yep.
So
Yep. All right. So not sure how to do this one, but okay. So let me start off with, I have to get this coming up. Okay. First off, and this is, I know this isn't going to be exactly fair, but we've got everybody knows about the dragon. The dragon has successfully funded.
nice.
I don't think it's reached I don't know if all of the add-ons have funded. I think the fire breathing head has funded, but I don't know that the wings have. And they have stretch goals that they're trying to hit too. But obviously, this thing is massive. You've got some scale photos here, but the reason I'm pulling this up is this figure comes in if you go and you get the add-ons, which are not insignificant, right? You're getting some extra figures, you're getting wings, you're getting another head, you're getting a fair chunk of stuff. But this figure comes in, if you include shipping, it's like $1,000,
Yeah.
right? I think it's actually a little bit over $1,000. Okay, so again, I'm not saying that this is a one-to-one comparison, but I did want to just throw this out there as a point of comparison for your dollar. This is a 1/6 scale Back to the Future DeLorean from Blitzway. This is also $1,000, including shipping. Okay. So you can order this from BBTS for $999.99, and this one does do their $4 flat rate shipping. So $1,004. All right. So this thing obviously has lights,
Like, how
and it
big is it?
looks.
What's the measurements on that thing? Because that's insane. If it's 1/6 scale.
It is. It's big. As we've talked about, you cannot rely on BBTS's measurements.
Yeah.
But this thing is also going to be gigantic. There are tons and tons of pictures here. I was looking for to see if there was one with a measurement. So it shows their die-cast parts. Here we
And
go.
it's die cast. Oh,
Yeah, it's got die-cast parts. Now, not the exterior.
Mhm.
30 inches long by 14 inches wide, 10 inches tall. It's a monster, right?
Yeah.
This thing is gargantuan. Okay, here's the thing. The dragon is $1,000. This is $1,000. And with the dragon, you have to include shipping. I'm including shipping here. Okay, you've got lights, tons of lights all over this thing. You've got, super detailed interior, super detailed engine bay. You can see very, scale perfect.
Do the wheels
Um,
fold in?
Okay, so here's where we get to
Oh,
the interesting part. Okay, so Hot Toys has done one of these already. I don't know exactly how much it cost, but it wasn't perfect. This looks to be fantastic in
yeah.
terms of matching the movie. The kicker is that the wheels and the doors are servo controlled. They open and close automatically.
That's cool.
And that kind of makes me go, holy shit. First off, I think people would pay $1,000 without all of that stuff, on a
Mhm.
remote, having it go into flight mode, having all of these lights animate and move, and, having the ability to open and close the doors electronically without touching it. All that kind of stuff. Just, man, I think this is, it's an interesting comparison, right? Am I wrong?
No,
Like,
it's definitely a comparison, but I'm not a 1/6 collector, and I'm glad because I would be interested in this.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just this is not for me, and neither is the dragon. So,
So I've been on the fence about the dragon.
mm,
I like it. I'm not saying it's a bad value, but when I look at this and I know the amount of engineering and effort and attention to detail to make
mm,
something like this with electronics, lights, animating lights, the servo, controlled options that make it transform, I see $1,000 here.
right,
I look at the dragon and I just see a lot of plastic,
right,
I know it's sculpted to the nines and the paint is going to be impeccable on it and stuff, but man, I see this and I see that and I'm kind of like, wow. If the dragon wasn't green, I probably already would have put my money down. If it was like purple or black or red, um, the dragon looks awesome. And I guess, one of the things about it is the value for the dragon will go up as it hits, the different tiers.
right.
And to me, I think that would be an important thing to have happen. As a matter of fact, they bumped down the knight, this guy that comes with it. He was going to be originally a stretch goal. Um, but they bumped him, they included him with the as soon as the dragon essentially was funded, they included him, which
Yeah,
I think is really showing that they're trying to give you value out of this.
right.
Obviously the DeLorean is not a Kickstarter. Oh, I realize I'm kind of switching back around on different tabs. Apologies, but pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, I just wanted to call it out as a kind of like price comparison. What you're getting is
Yeah,
it's different, and then I don't know. I don't
and
know what you guys think
then
on, in terms of, comparing those two prices, but I thought it was, an interesting comparison. Want to just throw it out there just for food for thought. I'm not saying one is better than the other,
right.
or one is more valuable than the other, but next up, I did want to talk about the value of this guy. So currently on BBTS, maximum Spider-Man is $55. $55.
Nope.
That's a good chunk.
I can make better webbings with garden wire, and
Yes.
I have multiple Spider-Man, three technically hanging from the ceiling in different poses. I got a Mezco Spider-Man. I'm good. I don't need any more.
So, talking about that specifically, though, the Mezco was obviously way more expensive, but
Right.
there's a lot more to that figure. There's soft
Mhm.
goods, there's tons of accessories.
Right.
Um, but when you look at this compared to other Marvel Legends Spider-Man, I don't think the value is there. First off, the one thing that I was truly disappointed by is that these web ropes don't have a wire in them. They are super floppy, which kind of really hinders their usability in my eyes. The other web effects, I mean, it looks like somebody made them with hot glue.
See this right here? This is gardening wire.
Yeah,
It is very bendy, and it will retain the shape that you want it to be. I just happen to have a piece next to me, but I make Spider-Man webbing with this, wrapping it around randomly, making loops, and it works really well.
yeah,
And
and it
you
looks
can
really
get this
good.
at Hobby Lobby for like $10, man.
Yeah, and like, okay, so they have improved the articulation on this.
Mhm.
The articulation on this is better. The plastics, however, do not appear to be better. I
Right.
watched a couple reviews on it already, and I could see like joints that were wanting to come apart, like at the specifically around, I think, the thigh and right around the calf. Like I could see where they were pulling apart, and it's just because they're kind of gummy plastics.
Mhm.
The Peter Parker head here looks creepy. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's kind of got the googly eyes, and he's kind of like, I don't know, pod person looking,
I got
an
a
imitation
Peter,
human.
I got a Peter Parker already. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I just looked at this and everybody's talking about it. I don't have money for another Spider-Man. I'd rather spend it on something else I do want. So I just completely passed.
Okay, so and here's what I wanted to show off.
Ooh.
The deluxe version of this is what, $61?
Yeah.
So $6 more than that Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The plastics are miles better. The detail on the figure is worlds different.
Mhm.
The head sculpt it's not even like you're looking at like an action figure head sculpt versus like a work of art. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a completely different league. And
I
even
would
the
pay $10
accessory,
more
what's
for the
that?
cape. I would pay $10 more for this figure for the cape to be wired.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is a miss. I'm not saying that, it's perfect, but you get a big stand, you get multiple hands, you get bunches of weapons, different face plates, batarangs, you get the cape for $6 more.
Yeah.
I just, this one is a bad comparison for Hasbro.
Right.
Frankly, honestly, I don't. I was absolutely shocked when Inart came out and said the prices for these. Just shocked, but wanted to call it out. Wanted to kind of throw it out there as interesting comparison. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't collect one over the other, but Troy. Toys Metaverse has the Friday morning pre-sale for Batman. But I'm just like the value. You have to kind of look at things, and you kind of have to go, okay, this is a great value versus this is not.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you want the figure and the Maximum Spider-Man does look better in my opinion.
Mhm.
I don't like the upper hip, like the way the legs meet, kind of the waist. I think that looks bad, but otherwise it's a nice figure.
Brian King hit it right on the nail right on the head with the scaled down Hot Toys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it absolutely is. And I
InArt
mean,
is a company that is known for 1/6 scale, and now they're doing InArt 1/12, and I am all in so far.
I really want the Arkham Batman.
Yeah.
I want that one so bad I can taste it.
And
Um,
hopefully it's articulate enough that it can like kind of like crouch down and stand on like a gargoyle or a statue or
yeah.
something. That would be cool to have. You know.
So they do have in here this Batman doing some cool poses that
Yep.
are showing off some serious articulation.
Superhero landing.
Yep. Yep. And guys, there are reviews all over
Yeah.
YouTube with this. Go check out our buddy Johnny over at Nostalgia Unboxed.
Yep.
He's a local and he's got a hell of a channel, an amazing following,
Mhm.
and is a nice guy all around.
Yep.
But yeah, I really think that Hasbro is testing the waters. They see import companies and how much people are, paying for those figures, and they're trying to say, "Oh, well, what if we jazz this up ever so slightly and we fix a couple of the things that should have been, you know, on the normal figures?" Like I've seen modifications on that current body where people have gone through and they've fixed the butterfly joint, so it's
Right.
actually much more functional. It is a super simple modification of removing some plastic that's in the way,
Right.
right? The neck articulation, like all they're doing is taking, oh, we learned something from over here that we've already done and putting it on this. We're taking this joint from over here and putting it on this. they're not doing anything new. They're just taking the best of some of the other stuff that they've done and, smooshing it together.
Right.
Do you need to pay more for that? I don't think so.
That's a $30-$35 figure all day long.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah.
And
Easy.
if you look at what was it? There's a Black Widow which has like multiple head sculpts, multiple accessories, and I think it's right in that cost range. And it looks like there's more to it than this Maximum Spider-Man. So
Right.
I can't support Hasbro doing that. I don't like it. I think that, if that's successful, they're just, going to use that as a reason to start upping the prices. And also, we're going to start getting tariff prices.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I guarantee those are never going to go away.
Right.
That's just going to be an excuse. Like we saw with COVID, the supply lines were, clogged and things weren't moving. And so prices went up on things and they never came back down. And it sucks, but that's where we are. I don't want to leave us on a bummer. So
I'm making a Spider-Man thing.
of course you are.
I had the piece of wire in my hand, so I just started twisting it. That's how easy it is to make
And that looks good,
a
dude.
Spider-Man. You just kind of ball it up and make it look like a punch at the end. Like
Yeah.
I've done so many of these, and just having that loop, you take the wrist off and you put it on the figure, and it looks like it's shooting out the web.
Perfect. Yeah.
These go buy you some of these and make your own. Have fun doing it. And I've sold these before. People were like, "Those are so cool." I mean, I've sold them for like $5, and I'd sit here and made it in less than a minute.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna throw this in here right at the end. I got some new hotness.
Okay.
I got a couple of hottie little elf chicks. These are really nice looking figures. The detail on the armor is great. The articulation it's not perfect, but it's really good.
Right.
They come with a bunch of cool stuff, multiple hair pieces, a different head that doesn't have like the war paint, right?
Mhm.
These things are really cool. I got 2 of them. This is the box they come in, which is a little meh, but
Right.
one thing that surprised me is that in the box, there is a slip of paper that says, here's some 3D printing to improve your figures. And it's a Google Drive link that takes you to um, it has 3 downloads. One is a zip with a bunch of 3D files in it,
Mhm.
which has a new head sculpt with even more detail. It's
Okay.
got what else did it have in it? The full body. So you could it's not articulated, but you can use it as a size reference, and you can also use it to do a Boolean subtraction to make armor pieces out of other things, and just super thoughtful. I thought that was really cool. And I thought I'd show this off. And then this one, well, these 2 actually made me really smile. So these 2 little shitheads came in the other day, and these are from Hero Toys, aka Medi Toys, which is a very popular company right now because they're putting out great stuff.
That looks like it goes great with plunderlings.
Exactly. Yes, and it does. And there's even more accessories that I'm not even showing here.
Right.
They've got different hands, they've got different weapons. I mean, he's got a chef's hat on and he's got a
Yeah.
fork. They are very articulated. The paintwork is actually really good. Each of these little back spike things is articulated. His little tail flaps up and down. The eyes freaking roll around in the head.
Wow.
Like
It's cool.
it's wild, dude. The hats pop off. They're just silly, and it's probably an ill-advised purchase on my part. But sometimes I get a wild hair, and these things are going to look awesome next to plunderlings. And I think that when the Savage Crucible Wave 2 starts to show up with all of the fishmen and stuff, I think these goobers will be little mascots for that army.
Nice.
I don't know. So just wanted to show these guys off. They're a lot of fun, and ended on a rather upbeat note rather than the Hasbro sucks note, which I wasn't trying to say, but I do think, corporate entities are going to corporate entity, right?
Right.
So, well, dude, I feel like I've been going on a rampage of just talk and get all the things out that you want to get out, because next week.
That's all right. I went on about army building for a
You did.
while. So.
You did. And that was awesome too, man. I had a lot of fun. Next week, we're certain to be talking about Toylanta Adventures.
Yeah, can't wait, man. It's going to be a long drive, but I'm ready. I'm excited. A lot of cool people we're going to run into and catch up with and meet. And toys, man. Going to have a good time.
Absolutely. And if you're going to be out there and want to meet up, hit us up on our Facebook group, hit us up on IG. Our contact information is in the description of said video here.
Right.
We would love to, meet up with anybody else that's going out there. I know that there's, like you were talking about, Bobby's going to be out there. I think a bunch of local people, I think, are going.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, it's going to be a good time. We're going to meet up with Sean for sure.
Yep.
Looking forward to it, man. It's going to be fun.
Yep. Gonna have a good time.
Guys, with that one, my voice is going already. I don't talk very much. I work from home by myself, so I don't talk very much. This is my, and like, I will talk more during one of these episodes than I will the rest of the week combined.
Yeah.
So, and this one was even more than that. But
had fun. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you.
We'll be back next week with Toylanta fun.
Oh yeah, it'll be a good time. See you guys later.
Peace.
Yeah, we were on a mission, got my crew at my side. Scouring the shells, we're down for the ride. Plastic warriors all lined up tight. From the comic shop counters to the late night site. It's the thrill of the hunt, gotta make it mine. I'm out here searching, yeah, taking my time. I'll flip every aisle, don't care what it